I caught my 42M wife, 40F, cheating on me, and it's destroying my family. Part 1. I caught my wife cheating on me, third time now, last night. I feel like I'm growing kind of numb to it now. It still hurts, but I'm growing accustomed to the sensations of it. I took a shower and suspected this guy she plays online games with every night is getting very close with her. So I used my phone to record her while I was in the shower. When I got out, I heard the recording and she said many intimate things, like, "I love you so much, Daddy." And, "I came twice today, Daddy." I have been through all of this before with another guy 8 years ago. Similar BDSM style online sexting, etc. It's always heartbreaking to find out, and my stomach sinks into my feet. I'm not sure how it feels for others, but that's how it is for me. Plus, I feel so sexually inadequate and unattractive at this point that it's difficult to imagine my wife even wanting to touch me anymore, so I don't bother trying to do anything other than hug her. That is all that she seems comfortable with, too. But I love my wife very much. I know she is not attracted to me. I'm getting older/fatter. My face sucks quite a bit. We've been together 17 years, and we have a 16-year-old daughter and a lot of memories together. She is 40 and I'm 42. The other guy is 22, lives at home with mom still, doesn't have a job or even a driver license. It's kind of weird, but I guess he's really sweet and harmless. I asked her if she wants to stay in the marriage and try to go to couples therapy. She doesn't know. She says she doesn't want to leave me, but because of my recently diagnosed borderline personality disorder, I've been verbally abusive in the relationship during arguments in the past. I have raised my voice and I have said hurtful things to her. Over the last year, I have worked to try and stop this behavior. I am working further on it through therapy and treating my BPD. Unfortunately, I didn't even know I had this problem until the last few weeks. In short, she feels safer with these other guys than she does me. But I have not yelled at her, and I have not even been outwardly angry towards her in the better part of at least 1 year. Even when I found out she was cheating, I remained calm and tried to talk to her respectfully and patiently. But it might be a case of too little, too late. Still, I try to be a better man each day. I start each day with the intention of doing my very best, working hard, and showing her that I care about her and I want to be a better husband for her. Both of us have our own therapists and are medicated. She is actually coming down from a higher effexor dose right now and is having lots of problems from withdrawal, mood swings, lack of focus, etc. I'm not sure if that plays a role in all of this or not. I started to think today that maybe she would be happier in an open relationship. I just don't want to lose her. I've never done an open relationship before. But I'm not sure what to do. I don't think I can be hurt much by it anymore because I've been kind of overexposed to it, ESP the BDSM stuff which I tried adopting several years ago before she decided she didn't like it. I hate being cheated on mostly because it gives me nightmares, and I feel really bad about myself. I realize the obvious thing to do is probably end the marriage. But I did convince her today to reluctantly agree to marriage counseling. But like I said, I don't want to lose her either. What would you suggest? Update. I caught her again doing it last night with the same guy. She said she was going for a nap. She went into the bedroom and immediately contacted the guy again on Discord while I thought she had went to take a nap. I came into the bedroom to check on her, and she claimed she was talking to herself because I heard her talking softly through the door. She was on a voice call with the same 22-year-old, again, she is 40. She tried to say she was taking notes and talking to herself. I said, "Okay, show me the notes then. It sounds like you are talking to someone in here." Then she had to take several moments to open the Notes app that was supposedly already open, and then show me some words she had written down, probably days or weeks ago. I grabbed the phone to read the notes because I'm 42 and my vision isn't the greatest. But then I quickly opened Discord and saw all the texts that she had just sent moments before. "Daddy, I love you. I can't wait to spend the rest of my life with you," etc. It's too sick to read most of it, and I don't really care about their sexual exchanges. It's dumb. It's nauseating. She doesn't care because it gives her dopamine, as she told me earlier that day. I started to have a panic attack, which I am prone to under high amounts of stress. I ran downstairs hyperventilating because it's not even been 48 fucking hours since I caught her last Wednesday night, see above. I tell her, you've got to go. We had agreed to start marriage counseling earlier that day. And now she was back to the same guy just 2 hours later, gushing all over him, or as I like to put, digitally blowing him. I couldn't believe it. I feel like I'm living out a Jerry Springer episode and I'm losing all grip with reality at this point. Then we spent the next 7 hours talking until we were both exhausted. I told her that she either stops immediately and breaks it off and I have to see it, or preferably hear it, or she has to leave. Tonight. She says she doesn't want to voice call him, so she retreats from that idea. I told her, this is disrespectful to our home, our family, and our marriage. I don't deserve this. She retreated back to claiming she loves me, but I think deep down she is too scared to go out on her own. If she could afford it and had her own place, she'd be gone probably in a heartbeat. Part 2. I caught my wife again doing it last night with the same guy. She said she was going for a nap. She went into the bedroom and immediately contacted the guy again on Discord while I thought she had went to take a nap. I came into the bedroom to check on her, and she claimed she was talking to herself because I heard her talking softly through the door. She was on a voice call with the same 22-year-old, again, she is 40. She tried to say she was taking notes and talking to herself. I said, okay, show me the notes then. It sounds like you are talking to someone in here. Then she had to take several moments to open the Notes app that was supposedly already open, and then show me some words she had written down, probably days or weeks ago. I grabbed the phone to read the notes because I'm 42 and my vision isn't the greatest. But then I quickly opened Discord and saw all the texts that she had just sent moments before. Daddy, I love you. I can't wait to spend the rest of my life with you, etc. It's too sick to read most of it, and I don't really care about their sexual exchanges. It's dumb. It's nauseating. She doesn't care because it gives her dopamine, as she told me earlier that day. I started to have a panic attack, which I am prone to under high amounts of stress. I ran downstairs hyperventilating because it's not even been 48 fucking hours since I caught her last Wednesday night, see above. I tell her, you've got to go. We had agreed to start marriage counseling earlier that day. And now she was back to the same guy just 2 hours later, gushing all over him, or as I like to put, digitally blowing him. I couldn't believe it. I feel like I'm living out a Jerry Springer episode and I'm losing all grip with reality at this point. Then we spent the next 7 hours talking until we were both exhausted. I told her that she either stops immediately and breaks it off and I have to see it, or preferably hear it, or she has to leave. Tonight. She said she didn't want to voice call him, even though she just did that, so she retreats from that idea. I told her, this is disrespectful to our home, our family, and our marriage. I don't deserve this. She continued claiming she loves me, but I think deep down she is too scared to go out on her own. If she could afford it and had her own place, she'd be gone probably in a heartbeat. Anyway, she is still here. I still love her. I forgive her for what she did, but I cannot forget, obviously. We are all flawed people trying our best at this human life journey. I've done plenty of bad things and hurtful things myself. I'm far from perfect, and I wish I could take back hurtful words I've said to my wife in the past. As I said in my previous post, I am trying to be a better husband every day. But this cheating is out of control. I feel like I cannot stop her at all. I truly believe she cannot help herself, and the high of this other guy just gets her off so much that he's irresistible. NSFW, I told her in bed last night that I wanted to eat her out while she listens to her favorite music in her headphones, which she does every night in bed. I said I hadn't done it in a while and I just wanted to make her feel good. She resisted me and said she felt scared. I rolled over and went to sleep. I can't do anything right. She hates me. She's revolted by me. Am I right to ask for proof of the dissolution of the partner she keeps cheating on me with? I'm not sure about this. Part 3. One thing I need to add to my story is the challenge of our daughter. As I mentioned before, she is 16 years old. But what I failed to mention is that my daughter has epilepsy and has unexpected convulsive seizures. If you're familiar with this at all, you know a tonic-clonic, or grand mal, seizure renders the person, usually, completely unconscious with no motor or language skills of any kind. Their head has to be elevated on their side because their muscle spasms are involuntary and unpredictable. You have to make sure their head is not slamming against the floor. Unfortunately, my daughter has experienced these several times, and oftentimes has them in dangerous areas, like the bathroom. One time we had to rush her to the emergency room because she had a grand mal seizure, locked the bathroom door, hit her head, and was on the floor convulsing. I was tearing down the door to get inside. But she had a mild concussion, and there are challenges in providing aid to an epileptic person during these episodes. I rely on my wife to help. Usually one of us will elevate her head and roll her to her side, while the other times, with a stopwatch, and/or records the event, grabs the emergency medication if the seizure goes on too long, and we help her to recover and make sure she is not injured in a way that requires a trip to the hospital. It's always a highly stressful situation. My French bulldog, unfortunately, is completely useless because he just barks his head off during all of this. Suffice to say, doing this alone, and I've had to a few times, is not easy. It's exponentially more challenging. I say all of this because it is not easy to kick my wife to the curb, as many of you have suggested. Yes, she continues to cheat on me. Yes, it is heartbreaking and unfair to me. I am absolutely gutted from it, and I'm worn down from it. She is also going through a difficult time because her psychiatrist cut her Effexor dose in half a week ago, and she looks drugged out of her mind whenever we are talking. She rocks back and forth, stares off, and says many confusing and conflicting things. Anyway, I just wanted to clarify that my situation is far from ordinary or simple. Our daughter requires medical attention. If I or my wife left, it would leave one person to manage these seizures on our own. In addition, our daughter would see only one parent as she recovers when she's used to seeing two, and everything about it would be more difficult. I'm not a doormat. I love my wife dearly, and I am desperate to keep us together. It's just that she doesn't feel romantically attracted to me anymore. I am doing everything in my power to research, improve, and be a better husband every day to keep my family from falling apart. While divorce may be a simple matter for others, it is anything but simple for me. Regardless, thanks for everyone's input on my other posts. I appreciate anyone taking the time to talk to me, support me, and help me. Please don't think otherwise. I'm really grateful to everyone, and I'm slowly going to respond to each person. I'm just juggling a lot. Part 4. I've chosen to forgive my wife for the infidelity. I think it's important for anyone to do this to keep the peace if you have children together, as we do. I think it's vital to avoiding resentment, which leads to further suffering and rumination for everyone. And if you are trying to keep your relationship together, forgiveness will be a key in growing and moving forward in a more healthy way. I shy away from making my wife feel guilty because it affords neither of us any advantages, not effective, and it only serves to push her further away. I've chosen to be a more loving husband and to focus on things that I can do to improve her self-esteem and not want to stray towards another man. However, reconciliation presents challenges. Every day I struggle with feeling unwanted. My wife recently asked me not to touch her, not out of spite or disgust necessarily. She asked me politely because she is struggling with her own mental health problems. If you read my previous posts, you'll know I was recently diagnosed with BPD, borderline personality disorder, and I'm in therapy trying to treat it with DBT, dialectal behavior therapy. I've had a lot of success so far, and I'm only planning to get better over time. But the feelings that such a request from your spouse renders in addition to cheating is monumental. I had already felt lower than low after discovering sexually explicit conversations with my wife and her AP, and reading that she couldn't wait to spend the rest of her life with him. Being asked to not touch her hits even lower when trying to reconcile and repair things. I have asked several times to enter couples counseling. My wife did contact one therapist, but they refused to see us because I have BPD. I'm not sure how that works. My therapist told me that BPD comes with a lot of stigmatism, even among mental health practitioners. But my wife seems reluctant to find anyone else. She had received a referral from her own psychiatrist, so I felt it would be a good opportunity to see if she was serious about resolving our differences and fixing our marriage. She hasn't followed up with anyone else, but she has also struggled switching antidepressants and dealing with withdrawal symptoms. Sometimes she just cries in our bedroom or the bathroom. I always try to comfort her or talk to her. Sometimes we hug. But I think most of her problem lies in coming down from Effexor, which is a known drug to cause challenging withdrawal symptoms. Amongst all of this, my daughter is struggling with seizures again. She fell out of her bed yesterday while having a seizure and her body was contorted on the floor. I was seriously worried she hurt herself, but she seems to be okay. It's an additional challenge in our lives, but I love my daughter a great deal, and I worry about being apart from her if we divorced. It would also eat me up badly if she had a seizure and I wasn't around to help her. I'm not looking to get a divorce. Please do not recommend that to me. I'm already well aware of that option. But the struggle every day to keep my sanity and keep trying to move forward with a healthy temperament is taking its toll on me. Lately, I just feel very foolish about everything. My brain constantly reminds me that my wife doesn't want to be with me. She probably hates me in many ways. She wouldn't have cheated on me if she loved me. She wouldn't have sexual encounters with people online if she loved me. Why am I doing this to myself? I don't really have any good answers. I wish I had an antidote for feeling so stupid. I know I'm not a very smart person. If I were, I would have discovered my BPD many years ago and done more to stop it. But now I feel like the biggest idiot for trying to fix a relationship with someone who cheated on me. I tried to get my wife to keep in touch with her AP since they were originally just friends. She says she misses playing games with him online. That might seem peculiar to some of you, but in a desperation to keep my marriage together, I told her, I'm okay with you talking to him if it can remain platonic. I know many of you would scoff and laugh at such a suggestion. But one of my biggest problems with cheating is not just the shared intimacy with someone else, it's the act of hiding it. Secrecy makes me feel so foolish. I almost would be fine with cheating, in a strange way, if I knew about it. I just can't stand the feeling of discovery. It's so gutting and nauseating. It makes me feel so stupid. More stupid than I already am. So what can I do with such feelings? Trust is already a challenge, although lately I've started to think, what difference does it make if it happens again? It's already happened 3 times, and in previous relationships. If it happens again, it will just be another day in paradise. Right? But what do I do about feeling foolish? I don't think I could ever trust another person romantically ever again. I've been cheated on in every major relationship I've had. I just don't see the sense in putting myself out there to keep getting hurt. I don't think I can trust people anymore. In the context of reconciliation, many of you I know will think I am crazy or pathetic for not leaving. But I've pointed out in several comments that it simply is not easy for me to do, and there are many other problems with it. We continue to live together though there is no romance in our marriage. It's very difficult to feel good about myself. I cannot bring myself to go to the gym, a common suggestion, because I lack the physical and mental strength to do so, and I'm out of shape. It would be embarrassing just to enter a gym, and I'm already at my emotional limit, I think. What can be done with feelings of foolishness? How can I better navigate my way out of all of this and keep my sanity? I don't want a divorce. I'm fighting every day to keep my family together. My wife's birthday is in a few days, and I'm excited to give her a bunch of gifts I got her. I love her still. I am working each day to be a better man and a better husband. But I'm also a shell of my former self. I'm growing and getting better with my BPD, but my marriage is a challenge I cannot seem to figure out. I've talked and talked and talked with my wife, but her attention is centered on herself right now. She cares about me, I know that. But I also know deep down she doesn't have romantic feelings for me anymore. For all I know, it died a long time ago. I bought some new clothes recently, and I try to keep myself looking the best that I can. I am always polite with her, and I try very hard to validate her and make her feel good about herself. I tell her that she is a perfect person and her mistakes do not define her. We all make mistakes. We all hurt others. I've certainly done it myself many times. But I still feel rejected and unwanted. I feel stupid. I feel ugly. What can I honestly do to reconcile my marriage and not feel like a total stupid failure while doing it? Final post. Today, after 18 years together, I filed for divorce from my cheating wife. We have been separated since she moved out in January and left me to take care of our epileptic daughter on my own. I had discovered her infidelity a few months earlier with a kid online half her age who lives at home with his mother, doesn't have a job, and doesn't even have a driver license. Just yesterday, my daughter had 2 grand mal seizures, and I threw my back out trying to help catch her as she fell down. It would have been nice to have my wife's help. But she just doesn't give a fuck. I'm also responsible for taking care of the entire house, which she left me to do, and financially, I am slowly losing it. Despite promising not to contact the AP, she did it anyway 1 week before she moved out. This is the story that brought me to the subreddit several months ago, and ultimately how I became a moderator here. It also motivated me to start my own podcast, Tales of the Cheated, which is based on real stories from our friends here. Please check it out and let me know if you want me to share your story on there. I've had trouble finding people lately. It is heartbreaking to me because I did everything I could think to do to save my marriage. But it became clearer and clearer every day that the only thing my wife concerned herself with was her own feelings. I can't say for certain, but she might clinically be a narcissist. I try to put myself in her shoes. Would I cheat? No. Would I move out and leave my wife to care for the house and our daughter and pets? No. Would I continue contacting the AP after promising not to? No. Would I focus only on my own needs while leaving my spouse to take care of everything else? No. Would I adorn my new apartment with pink frilly things rather than sending money to help pay for food for my daughter and the house I left behind? No. Absolutely not. If I did these things, as a man, I can tell you I would be put in the proverbial dad left for cigarettes category. When I bring this up to her, she always responds with, "You don't care about my feelings." I can't fathom how she finds the nerve to say that to me. I'm just in tears now. This isn't what I wanted. I'm so disappointed at 43 that this is how my life ended up. I guess in time the fog will lift and I'll get better and stronger. But I know I'm done with relationships. I was cheated on repeatedly in all 3 major relationships that I've had. The level of betrayal has absolutely shattered any sense of trust one could ever have again. I would have to meet someone in a similar situation, I think, to ever try again. In a year, I might be homeless. I live in a small town and no one will hire me. My business at home has utterly failed over the last few years in this economy. 5 years ago, I was doing amazing and putting money back for retirement and college for my daughter. My savings are being drained every single day because my finances were cut in half. I've lost all hope. But I guess this chapter with my wife has ended. That's that, as they say. To those seeking reconciliation with your abuser, I say, tread carefully. They generally just don't give a shit about anyone but themselves. Read Leave a Cheater, Gain a Life. It's razor accurate about the cheater, and it's also just hilariously entertaining to read, which helps when your heart has been ripped out of your chest. Make sure you know what you're getting into with these abusers before you try the big R. You probably aren't a unicorn. Even if they act like they care when they're caught, they probably do not. Be smart. Don't get fooled again by them like I did. My wife cheated on me 3 times, and I took her back each time. Our forgiveness as the cheated does little to reform the cheater or avail us of the black marks they've left on our souls. Put your efforts into you and your children and family. Let the cheater wander the planet looking for their next victim and stay as far away from them as you possibly can. You can always love the person you thought they were. Those memories are yours to have and to hold, but do not view those memories through rose-colored shades. Nostalgia blurs our perception of the present. That person isn't who you thought they were. Let them go. I hope you enjoyed this Reddit story and subscribe to Basic Spoon for more daily Reddit content.